Okay, it's a new morning. I'm getting ready to tackle that hill. And I'm chomping on my beef jerky. And finding the trail. Wish me luck. Trying to beat that sun coming up over that crest. Keep going. This must be a mistake. They're actually giving us a few minutes of downhill. Sweet. And I've learned when you get downhill, you pay for it on the uphill. I think the light is about to catch me. Make a wish. I know what mine is. I was down there. Oh, this hill is daunting, but you know what? I've got 5 months. If it takes me 5 months to get to the top, I am the only one that gets to define my success. Hike your own hike. It found me. And look, I could have camped here. As if I could have gotten up here yesterday. Wouldn't have happened. It's pretty rock. And pretty view. You know I love these signs. Yeah, I won't be taking that way. I'll take this way. I seem to have made it over some kind of crest. I know I've still got some elevation gain to get to where I'm going, but yay. This is a legit downhill now. Holy cow. When you don't think you can do it, think again. I can't imagine doing the trail any other time. The flowers are such a boost. I love them. And they're not always in clumps. Sometimes they're just tiny little individuals, but every little splash of color just picks you up. I mean, look at this little guy. I don't know if that's in focus. There was the manzanita tree just inviting me to sit for a minute, so. Well, I'm not at the top of the elevation yet. I'm still trying to get beef jerky out of my teeth, can you tell? But, yay. I mean, I've gone 2 miles up a really steep climb. Well, steep for me. And that's good. I'm thinking those rocks up there must be my goal. So that lake that I was calling Lake Morena the other day was not Lake Morena. Evidently Lake Morena is way larger. But it was pretty, whatever it was. The birds are singing to me today. So if you're planning to hike this stretch and you're intimidated by it, like I was, super big time, it's got its tough sections, as you saw from my filming, at least for me. But then you get these recovery stretches, which are level or downhill, so it's not all a biatch. Some of it is just coasting. Sometimes it's tough, but persevere. The desert has many faces. You'll find really sketchy places to rest when you feel like you just have to have a break. I tapped my paws to give the creatures notice that I'm here. Hope that works. Well, I've reached the scenic view of Lake Morena, which is a big milestone for me. Another mile into Morena, and I can rest. Well, I saw a cairn, so even though I'm tired, of course I had to come check it out. You have to find your trail through this crest. It is very old and very precious and very fragile. All right, there's my cairn, and there's the view. 2 lakes and a big rock face. Pretty sure that all I have left is descent to the lake, which is awesome. My back is a little sore. I don't know if I loaded my content wonky or what, but I think I'm gonna break, maybe camp at Lake Morena. Beautiful. He's hiking the PCT too. Who you are?
Eugene, my wife Doriga, Dory.
Trail, this little trail down to the Morena campground is really sketch, but that's okay. We're out here to rough it, right? My guess is there's just no trail maintenance for a while. Understandable. I've made it to Morena, which is the first town. So I'm smiling. Now I have to go find the malt shop. told it is a hiker tradition and they are hiker friendly. I will put my mask on and go find friendly faces. I'm in my first town, so it's time to don the mask. And the normal campground is closed because of COVID. And I'm not ready to walk a couple of miles to get to the next campground on the other side of town yet. And my GPS
head southeast.
Just quit working to tell me how to get to the malt shop. So, hanging out. I've got time. Okay, so when you come into the park, which is closed, take a right, and then it's less than a mile down to the malt shop. And then you figure out next steps. This will surely be one of my less scenic walks. But I have my poles suspended by the straps and I'm resting my elbows on them. And just like any other time, I'll take my time. 10 miles per hour, not a problem. It's like an oasis. There's the malt shop. So of course with COVID, you could only go inside and order to take out, but then you couldn't sit at the tables outside. So you basically have to walk back to the campground that's closed. And hopefully I won't get kicked out of there when I find a spot of shade to eat before figuring out where the trail picks back up. I sure hope it's back at the campground because that's where I'm heading. That's where the guy at the malt shop said to go. They weren't super friendly, but it is COVID days, so just grateful to be out here. Stopped under a big tree on the way back to the campground, and let's see if anybody tells me I have to move. I'm really tired. My back is aching. But I'm just in that warm-up phase. Takes a while. Perfect pre-dinner appetizer. Yum. It was very confusing to find the trail out of the campground. But I backtracked just because it was freaking me out that I wasn't seeing any PCT signs, and sure enough, here's the right way. Unless I missed it, they don't do squat for signage for the hikers. I'm assuming on a normal year, not just COVID. This is why I don't hike at night. This is actually the way I pictured the PCT. Not necessarily this foliage, but certainly not the flowers. But just walking until dark and pitching your tent. I'm really tired, but with the campground closed at Morena, the first really good campsite is a couple miles out. So even though for me, unfortunately, that's a couple of hours, crazy. Hopefully that'll improve. I can still beat dark. The campsite where I was gonna stop had my second rattlesnake in it, so that's a no. Keep going. When you keep looking in your reverse screen to see if that path is in shade yet. The heat is the real deal out here. I still have time to get up there. I've got a 200-foot climb is all. And looks like the sun is gonna cooperate. I forgot to tell you that at the campground, even though you couldn't camp there, the bathhouse was open and it had a bench for the shower stalls. You couldn't take a shower. I didn't have any quarters. And the sinks weren't running, but there were faucets outside that were. You just have to filter the water. And they had an outlet. So I charged my phone and my Garmin, and I took a nap on that bench. Laid out my ground sheet and curled up, and it was like a metal concrete building. It was so well insulated that I got cold. I actually had to break out my microgrid for the very first time. So I was kind of happy about that since I've been carrying it, lugging it around. Happy to get to use it. But yeah, that was exciting. I even got to poop in a toilet. Woo! So this is my hiking outfit that finally made the cut. This is my Purple Rain hiking skirt, my 30 Girl gaiters, my Ultra Trail shoes, darn tough socks. I was wearing Injinjis, which I love, but I have a displaced bone on the side of my foot. It could have become a big problem. I hadn't anticipated that, and it started to rub. So I think the thicker socks are helping. It's my Light AF fanny pack, my OR hiking gloves, my Montbell dry fit shirt, my badassery in progress buff, my Ombres sunglasses, bra and underwear, and of course, my hat. Site number 1, but gut hookup says it's crazy windy. So to continue on to the next one. Okay. I found my campsite for the night. It's gonna be a nice sunset. Looks like my tenting skills are improving. Thanks, Dan Durston. I love my tent. It's awesome on the PCT. That made everything worth it today. And it was hard. I'm pretty happy right now. It was a struggle to get here, but I am loving it. Check this out. Not a bad place to go to sleep. And not another person on the trail. It's crazy. All right, I passed 2 hikers today. Wow, that's it. No sign of them tonight. They're long gone. It's a pink sunset contrail. Does that look like a female body to you? I think that God's playing tricks on us.